Hi, everybody, and welcome to 9-9 Nation, the 1st of September 2019. With us today is Jasmine.
Hello.
You guys know this person. His name is...
back.
Forever. And my name's Evan, coming to you from the beautiful Bingham Farms, Michigan, corporate headquarters of 9-9. So, guys, I think that we haven't touched on this on the podcast yet, but... as everyone in the entire United States knows, Popeyes has run out of chicken sandwiches, but we did get a chance to try one before.
Did. It was amazing.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts? Because I don't know about you all, but like when it came out and went, I guess viral is the way to put it, right? Because none of us really found out from going to Popeyes. It was all
until that day.
I had Popeyes, but never a chicken sandwich.
right,
Never.
and not in a long time, right? So, but like it was built up pretty good, right?
It was very good.
And when you actually had it,
It melted in your mouth.
It was good. But I don't have big of a sample to compare it to.
well, that was your own fault.
Like I've had chicken sandwiches from like Burger King. It doesn't even count as a chicken sandwich
Tell people why you didn't have a full chicken sandwich.
because I can't eat deep fried foods.
Why can't you eat deep fried foods?
Because I lost my gallbladder, and they said you can't eat deep
I don't
fried
think
foods.
I don't think you lost it per se. More like somebody took it
They
from
took
you.
it out. They took it forcefully. Well, not forcefully, but I had to go.
Willing.
So I had a quarter of a chicken sandwich. But even before that, I don't think I've ever had like.
What about Wendy's
chicken
chicken sandwich? You never
I
tried
don't
Wendy's?
like Wendy's.
You don't like Wendy's?
No. There's nothing from Wendy's that I actually like.
Oh, wow.
So it's not. I went through the drive-thru and ate it here and there, but I never got a chicken sandwich. So
See,
I
and
don't
up
have
here,
like a
Chick-fil-A is not
sample.
big, so it's not as though because that was the
true.
big argument, right? Is that
Yeah.
it's better than Chick-fil-A's,
It
but
is, though.
I've never had the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, but I will say that as much like hoopla there was about have you got it, and I mean, kudos to Kristen and to Diamond who went
for
and
going
bought
to get us.
13 sandwiches at a Popeyes about a mile down the road, and it took them 80 minutes
Yes.
to get a
Yeah, 'cause
mile.
we
and
went. We went to Mex. And
That's right. You
came
had lunch
back-
somewhere else that
We
day.
had lunch somewhere else. Came back and she just gotten back, and we had sat down, got an appetizer with chips and salsa, and came back. And you guys
free
had
chips and salsa, or do you have to pay for that?
No, I think it was like $8.
Oh,
right.
jeez.
You had an appetizer.
appetizer-
So your
salsa.
appetizer cost 2 chicken sandwiches.
See?
Pretty much.
You
Yeah,
You could've had
Just
2
chips
chicken
and
sandwiches.
salsa too.
And you
It
didn't
was
have to
good
leave.
though. It was worth it.
But I will say, yeah, the chicken
It's
sandwich from Popeyes was unbelievable.
It was
like
great,
it,
yeah.
and Kristen mentioned this earlier.
She
Kristen,
also mentioned it in last week's podcast.
oh, did she?
Yeah.
No, okay. That they're not coming back until October.
Wow.
So like a full month, their Popeyes is sold out. So will the question is, will people still want to go wait in an hour line to get
Yeah,
a
'cause they
chicken
didn't
sandwich?
get it.
But they're still busy.
But did you know that
Busier
they
than
were
they were.
closing the inside of it? That's why the lines are so long.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I saw that. I was like, oh,
It's backing up
sneaky.
traffic. it was backing up traffic like crazy.
Good
Like I said,
marketing, though, in a sense, huh?
Yeah.
I saw
It
an
worked.
article.
It did.
A buddy of mine is doing like a food blogging thing, and now he's going like on a tour to find the best chicken sandwich in Detroit or the Metro
my
Detroit
friend
area.
actually is a caterer, and he is doing a chicken sandwich.
And
in
he found a
Detroit.
place, like, I
Dorian's
forgot
Catering.
what it
Yeah,
was.
he's doing that.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like a huge chicken sandwich. It's very
He found
Mark,
a
did-
place. I forgot.
Did
what
you
it
have the
was.
chicken sandwich, Mark?
No, I did not because I'm a vegetarian.
Oh wow!
You have to get an Impossible Burger.
But if you
does-
were going to try one,
It sounds good though.
Right?
So Impossible Burger maybe from Mark.
Impossible
Yeah.
Burger, an
I heard
Impossible
that's
chicken
really good,
sandwich.
too.
Right.
I forgot the Impossible stuff was really good.
Yeah.
No, it is.
4 people
Oh,
told me.
it's really good.
I tried one
Is
at
it-
Dave
The
and
Impossible
Buster's.
hot dogs are probably the best hot dogs I've ever eaten in my
I've
life.
never heard of Impossible hot dogs. What
Like
is-
hot dog is already kind of fake, so it's like you can easily
Where do you get
fake
it?
a hot dog.
What are we waiting for?
Okay, shifting gears a little bit.
Take the lead.
One of the things, Jasmine, you and I haven't talked about this, and I don't know if with Trevor, but one of the things that Trevor and I have you're halfway through, or just starting, I guess is a better way to put it, binge watching a particular show.
Oh, yeah.
I'm 4 seasons into it, and one of the things that kind of I was thinking about earlier today is the binge watching aspect. And I know people
I'm a
who
binge watcher.
is that all you do then?
I'm not.
Yeah,
And I just started.
So like when the episode comes on, a season or something, I will wait until the end so I can just sit
Really?
and watch it. Yeah, because I don't
You
really
DVR
like
stuff?
surprises. I do, but I don't want to wait till like the next week. I want to just sit and watch it all.
Do you have like regular cable?
Like AT&T, so I can like rewind. Is that regular?
So
No.
she
Well,
has
no.
regular
So like
cable, yeah.
one of the
Yeah,
things
yes.
that and you're gonna do it at some point. And Jason, our programmer who's here, has done it. I did it recently, but it's called cutting the cord, where like you know people my age grew up with cable.
Wiser.
I don't know about that. Clearly not. But grew up with cable, where you turn on the TV and you scroll through a menu, and it's got all the news channels and the home shopping channels and the regular channels. And
I know about that.
yeah. So, but one of the big thing with cutting the cord is that you get rid of that and you go to more of like a streaming service. So cutting the cord is literally no more cable, which
You just have like
Right.
Netflix and Hulu and
Yeah.
all
okay.
these.
and you can still watch sports and things like through YouTube and through
Right.
PlayStation
But
View,
it's
or
just not cable.
it's just
Yeah,
you're not
it's
wired in, so to
Yeah,
speak.
yeah.
But one of the things when I did it is I actually started binge watching shows, and that was one of the things I hadn't done before because I was so like just in this box of I have to scroll
Programmed.
through these, and if it's not live, I'm not watching it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So the one that we're
Right.
binge watching now,
It's
Yeah.
what?
It's called Schitt's Creek. I
What
know
is that?
It sounds bad. It's not.
I
It's
know.
not spelled the way you think it's
Schitt's
spelled.
Creek.
how's it spelled?
It's. I don't even know how it's spelled
Because you've Googled it and couldn't
I've
find. Or no,
Googled-
you
no,
Netflixed
I
it.
tried to search on Netflix. I spelled it the way you would think it's spelled,
Right, but
and I
it's
couldn't
probably
find
with a C or
anything.
something.
Then I spelled it another way, couldn't find it. My phone was upstairs in my room, so I was like, oh, I don't feel like going to get it. So somehow I yelled across the room for my wife. And
Always a good idea to yell across
And
the
I
room
was
at
like,
your wife.
hey, can you Google
Smart.
this for me? I was like, Evan said it was on Netflix, but I can't find it. And she's like, yeah, it's on Netflix. She's like, how are you spelling it? So then she told me how to spell it, which I
Right.
still don't remember. And then I found it, but it's called Schitt's Creek, and it's a really good
I have
series.
to
It's like
go
a
home and
funny,
binge watch it and see.
dry. It's like a dry humor series. Like you don't have to get involved into watching it.
Right.
So it's like you can watch it and you can kind of just
20 minutes later, you're walking away.
yeah, exactly walking away. It's not
okay.
like you have to be like laser
Zoomed
focused.
in,
If you
right.
miss something, you missed like four episodes or something.
Right.
So it's kind of it's an easy watching series. That's like a dry
For those
humor.
Googling at home, it's SCHITTS.
Is it
Creek.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's on
Which they
Netflix.
show you about 30 seconds to a minute into every episode, the title of it.
Yeah.
Because they probably thinking like people's gonna
But-
spell it the
Yeah.
bad way.
Okay, so you're a binge watcher then. Like, do you
I
have
am.
go-to? Like, or do you have one right now that you're just stuck in, or a bunch of them, or like do you just randomly go through?
Lately, I've been reading books, but I haven't really been watching TV. But sometimes, like, I really like Power.
all right.
So, like, when Power was on
Is that
last
the one
year,
by-
I would
by
binge
50
watch.
Cent? Which one's the one with
It
50
is,
Cent?
with 50 Cent, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like
So-
doing really good with that.
He's doing all kinds of
he's
stuff,
coming out with
entertainment-wise,
It's
as far as that's
unbelievable.
concerned, TV and
like
streaming.
from a rapper, I think he quit that, and now he's doing that. So he's doing
Yeah.
really good for himself with that.
Yeah.
More
I know
opportunity.
Justin was looking for a show to binge watch. He posted on all his social media yesterday, asking for a show to binge watch.
But I've
So if you
seen
have
that.
any
Haven't you seen
suggestions-
that on like people putting on
No, I've
Insta
never
or
seen
on
suggestions.
Facebook? Like,
No.
like what
But
you know?
I get it,
What's good to
though.
binge watch right now?
Yeah.
Somebody said
And
Ozark.
Son of Arc.
Ozark's supposed to be good.
I used to binge watch that.
What is it?
Son
The Son of Anarchy?
Yeah,
That
I
one?
used to binge watch
Never.
that.
Game of Thrones. I mean, I think that was probably one of the first like true.
Because I just get so tired of waiting. Like, oh, what's gonna happen next? So I just
Well, now
wanna
you can
just
watch
wait.
all, what is it, 8 seasons?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
see? That'd be
if
a
you want to watch the
great-
last.
I watched the first
That'd be a great
season and a
Sunday.
half, and then it was the same way. Like I got caught up, and then I couldn't wait the week, and then somebody took my HBO account away, or not mine. I was taking it from somebody else, and they
And
canceled.
they changed their password. That's
Changed
it.
the password, so
You
I
got
just, I
locked
just
out of
never
their
got,
account.
Yeah, correct, and then I just never.
Can't
got
really be
back
upset
to it.
about that. Like,
No,
what do you
and then
do?
I had Netflix, not Netflix,
Oh,
HBO on my
no.
own. I never even watched it, so it's not their
They
fault.
actually, if I remember correctly, and this was right at the end of the season 8, was the last one, right? Was that
Yeah.
if you were to watch every episode from start to finish, it would take
Oh, yeah.
2 full days. 2 full days of
24
watching
hours.
every episode.
Like if you watch it without getting any sleep, it was like 2 full
That's
days.
a
and
great
something
weekend.
Else.
Yeah. You're not sleeping.
You're not
and-
sleeping,
Oh,
so I'm not
no,
sure how
I
good.
didn't
And
it
you're going to
is.
be
Sleep.
dark when it's all said and done because it wasn't the most cheerful of shows.
It wasn't.
gonna go to work on Monday. If you start watching it, what, Friday night, you'd be done. What, Sunday night? You go to work. You're gonna go to work sad and tired.
Yeah.
On Monday.
But see, it's ever since it really started over the winter for me of this whole binge watch aspect. It wasn't something I did because I was glued to cable. But
Right.
Ballers, the HBO show with Dwayne Johnson,
Oh, yeah.
mainly because
I
I
wanna
have a
see
bit of a
that.
crush on The Rock, right?
Yeah,
but it's
I have a
got,
crush on The Rock too. He's a great actor though.
but it's yeah.
And
he's
businessman.
he's entertaining to watch.
He
You know,
He's
he's
a businessman.
Do you remember? Yeah, he came from WWE. Remember?
But I don't.
Do you smell what the Rock is
Who doesn't remember
cooking?
that?
If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
But I didn't think
And
he
then
was a
now he's like
businessman.
an actor. Like he's a businessman.
I think he might have. Speaking of back to 50, but remember 50 got involved in like one of the drinks, the
Vitamin water.
Vitamin water.
I
Yeah,
used
he
to
sold that
love
to
vitamin
Coke.
water.
They
And
still have that? I don't think they
I
have
don't
it
think they
anymore.
have it anymore.
I think it's done.
I don't know.
You know,
I
I
haven't
can't say I've seen it as much as I used to,
haven't
but
seen
yeah,
it.
it was the
haven't looked for
big
it, honestly.
thing,
I
yeah.
think
The
Coke
purple
just
flavor was my
zeroed it.
favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah,
After they
I think
bought
it
it for
zero.
50 for a ton of money.
So you binge watch TV shows then primarily. You don't do like you're doing stuff, at least from what you said, that are on more mainstream, right? It's not like Netflix or Amazon.
No,
I did an Amazon one over the winter. It's called Red Oak, I think. It was kind of a play on like an 80s country club thing. And it only had 3 seasons, so it didn't take real long.
That's not long.
But the one thing, you touched on it with Schitt's Creek, is watching like hour-long binge watch shows, like where there's, the whole season's like 12 of them. I mean, it sometimes just feels painful.
I have to
Creek's like
get into
20
the
20
Netflix
minutes.
shows. I'm not really there yet.
I'm surprised. It's amazing because,
Yeah.
again,
I used to
I'm
work
new.
for Netflix too.
But like you see all these, you go
Used to work
into
at
it.
Netflix.
Yeah, when they
It's
first
amazing
started.
how many they have. Like,
They
and
have a ton of.
and a
just
lot of them
random
now.
Yeah,
stuff.
they do.
even
But
the
it's hard to
HBOs and the
commit to one
Showtimes,
thing-
like
to
they
one
all.
thing.
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
It's like you're scrolling. It's like, what now? And now that you gave me Schitt's Creek, I want to watch that. But
will
after
you watch
that,
anything else until you're done?
Probably not.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I
I'm
probably
one
won't.
of those. Yeah, I have to watch the whole thing and then I'll go to something else.
Until you're caught up, right? And
Yeah.
even if you know that, like, oh, I have another season coming.
I got still a long way to go. It's 22 minutes each, and I'm in like season 2, episode like 5 or 6.
Oh,
Well, you got,
yeah.
and there's like 13 episodes a season. So, I mean,
Seven,
that's not
13 or
bad. You got
14.
to figure that is going to be roughly what, like 4 hours
Your
a
winner
season.
is booked.
Yeah, but I was gonna try.
Your
to
problem
find-
is football is starting up.
Yeah, and I was gonna try to buy like for winter. I was just talking to Justin and Jay about like possibly like a video game, like an Xbox or something, because I don't want to binge watch shows.
Why don't you talk to Jackie about that first?
I don't know, maybe like
Right.
maybe do like a Xbox or just something so I don't binge watch shows all the time.
Okay.
So
I
I'm
mean,
gonna
that's-
see.
maybe you could do like
I'm gonna
what
see.
Jasmine does, take up reading.
Yeah, I do read a lot of books.
Really?
You can't say it like that's a bad thing. That's a great
No,
thing.
it's not.
I would like to get into it, just never really.
I know, I'm with you.
I'd rather just sit
Yeah.
and watch TV and flip channels.
Yeah, I'm a
Speaking of
quiet
watching TV,
read booker.
the one thing
Read
that
Booker?
a read booker.
It's a new word.
Oh,
I'm
it
just
is.
kidding.
Did you guys see? I think it's impossible to ignore because it's all over every news channel. But the Hurricane Dorian,
Yeah.
That's
bad stuff.
That's real bad
Man,
stuff.
Florida.
Are they getting? Is it?
it's
like
right now
official?
sitting off it's sitting off the Carolinas, with tidal waves and tornadoes and
Yeah, they said the rest
nothing
is
like what
came out.
Bahamas are gonna have seen because that's.
no.
This weekend I was out with a couple friends and my buddy's sister and mom came from Florida to like escape it, and her sister is like really worried. Like she was on her phone like constantly just checking, like every like 10 minutes she was checking like the map or whatever it was, like the
Yeah.
radar of it just to see like where it's going and stuff. And she's like, she couldn't even have fun. I'm like, man, that's like to be in that position. I was
Yeah, you're
to leave
worried
your
about
house.
your home. Yeah.
She's all. I was like, do you know if you have power? She's like, I'm not really sure. I was like, you probably should have gotten like a Wi-Fi thermostat or something just so you know if you still have power at home.
True.
Because otherwise, I mean, you're just sitting here worried. She's like, yeah. She's like, I'm just kind of
You
stuck.
don't know where you're gonna.
She has tickets to go home. I think tomorrow.
Okay.
Maybe. I mean, did you? I saw. I
Are
was
they gonna
watching
let
on
them know?
one of the
She doesn't
airports is not
know.
even open. Like most of the airports, if not all.
Yeah.
I know one's not open because it's literally not there. Like you have the runways are there, but everything else has
Flooded?
been demolished. No, just demolished. Like the entire terminal's blown out. There's no
Oh my
walls.
goodness.
There's a ceiling and
In
stuff.
Florida?
No, in
On
Bahamas.
Bahamas.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say Florida, no.
No. Oh, no. If you're from Florida, I mean, I think that they honestly, and having family down there, and I mean, my brother and my parents are there. Like, I talked to them last night. Like,
Oh, good,
just talk about
okay.
dodging a bullet.
Well, your parents rode out the other one. They just kind
Foolish.
Just hung out.
Foolish, mom and dad, if you're watching this. A generator doesn't stop a Volvo. I remember that because I grew up in Florida, and it's like almost the joke was like, people would be like, "Oh, I'm riding the hurricane out. The winds aren't going to hurt me," and then the joke was like, and which in retrospect, it's not a joke, but like it's the wind's not going to hurt you. It's the Volvo that the wind is carrying that's going to hurt you.
Yeah, we saw that. You showed me that the like aerial view of Bahamas, and there's legit shipping containers.
Like the
it
full
was
on you'd
like-
have on the back of a semi. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just.
It just kind of like tossed around
I
like.
forgot the name of the company that's down there helping them with like fuel.
Well, that's the hard thing now is they were saying because so much of it's destroyed and there's so much debris everywhere is that getting planes on the ground other than and there's no way to get gas. Like so you can't
Yeah.
refuel when you're there, but a lot of it's going to be brought over by
I
boat.
think the fuel is helping them with, like for the hospitals for like their generator when they
What
run
they-
out or something.
yeah.
You know what I think should happen? All these cruise ships like Carnival, they go to Bahamas for like profit because.
Why don't they go pick
Why
up the
don't they
pe-
just fill
Can
up
they
a couple
dock?
cruise ships?
You saw
and
the
just-
pictures. I mean, it
don't
was
have to
Yeah,
dock. They
I
have,
mean,
like, dinghy
people
boats
are
or
literally
something.
in the water on the street.
dinghy
they're-
boat?
Like it's
I don't know.
hard.
Bring the cruise ship.
yeah.
Park
I'm ready
it
for
off-
this. Let's go.
Park it off the coast somewhere, like
Yeah.
close enough to
The
where
people can reach.
And keep in mind,
and then shuttle people in and out as long as they have shelter. I mean, somebody can go and sleep. The people can go sleep on there. You can eat and do everything else.
it's only
Shower.
like 70, 80 miles from the coast of Florida to the coast of the Bahamas are several
I did
islands,
not know
but
that.
it's not a very far. I mean, it's not far.
Oh, so they can get. Oh, so Florida's close enough.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I didn't
and
know
the
it was
boats
like
are docked
70
either in
miles.
Miami or Port Canaveral.
Yeah, so just
halfway up.
fire up a couple of those boats.
Yeah.
because they're
I just hope
Fire up
everybody's
a couple
safe
of
in
those-
Florida.
they're
Yeah.
profiting from going to
This is
Bahamas all the
rough.
time,
Well, that was the thing.
right? I mean, you're milking the cow in a retrospect, and then all of a sudden you have to go and to help them, go do it.
I'd like to cut this portion for the blooper reel. You got that, Mark? Want to say
they're going.
where Trevor compares Carnival Cruise Lines to
No,
milking
like-
a cow?
cow.
They're going there.
I'm on it.
Yeah,
you get
thanks.
it.
thanks.
You get on there for fun, so why not do it
Yeah,
to save people?
yeah,
And
like-
I
get
think it's
it.
something about getting the milk. It's not necessarily milking the
Yeah,
cow.
well, you know what I'm saying. Like they're using them.
No, keep
They're
going.
They're
using
using
them.
them, and then they
But
can't
that was the
return
thing.
back.
So 60% of the Bahamas, for lack of a better word, revenue, but like 60% of the money that the nation, the island nation, brings in is
Tourism.
from tourism.
Yeah, I can believe that.
And now, I mean, not that people won't go. I mean, it's a beautiful place. It's tranquil,
Yeah,
but
if it's not there.
if you got nowhere to go to
What do you
and
do?
no way to get there,
Right, what do you do?
What is that water park? Did that survive? What is that?
Atlantis?
Yeah,
Atlantis, right?
I wonder if that survived.
I didn't see anything on the news about
I
that.
didn't
but-
see anything about
Sandals
that
is
either.
also down there too.
Sandals.
There's a lot of
Sandals
resorts.
and all
Yeah.
those big resorts. I wonder if they survived.
Well, if it depends, and it's all going to depend on like how it was built, because it was
True.
evident from looking at the pictures that if you were wood framed and whatnot, you were just
yeah.
getting torn
Done.
apart.
But
I mean,
also,
it was,
if you're a shipping container, you're torn apart too.
well, yeah, but they were just picked up and moved. And it's tough. It's tough to
Never
stop a
is
shipping
nothing.
container from once it starts hitting your building. But it was, I worked at Disney in my younger days, and there was a thing on the news where somebody said, "Oh, when a hurricane's coming," because Florida was supposed to get a direct hit.
Right.
It wasn't supposed to be a Cat 5. They thought it'd be a 3, maybe a 4. So what the Bahamas took in was completely, unexpected. But
Yeah.
at least from the outside world. But they would say, he said, when there's a hurricane, I send my mother to Disney because those hotels are actually built to
Oh, yeah,
withstand
they were saying.
Yeah.
greater than Cat 5.
I did read something about
So
that.
maybe Atlantis and those, some of
Are
those
built the same.
larger, yeah.
Probably so.
Just-
Their main resort, so I
I mean, Atlantis is, it's known, right?
Yeah, it's a-
Sandals and
it's a
ones like
main,
that
like,
is
resort,
known.
yeah.
I really like because they didn't say anything about it.
So I think they'll be fine.
Well,
I think-
either that or they're keeping it off the news so that,
people
nobody,
can still try to go.
people can still book their reservations for,
That's milking
for
a
next
cow.
spring.
There you go.
Yeah, Carnival Cruise Lines.
There it is.
It was, but it definitely, and we'll put it in the links here for anybody who wants to donate. I saw Red
Yeah,
Cross
please,
is
they
doing.
need it.
Oh,
There was
absolutely.
Red Cross. I forgot. There's a couple other companies.
There was one. It was actually, it started to go viral because DJ Khaled
I was going
and
to say
somebody
it would
else.
be cool like J.J. Watt did. for
Well, this was,
Houston.
I think it's called Smile Trust. I could be completely wrong about that, but it's a company I hadn't heard of before that is finding ways to it's not necessarily money, but like getting, like they had a list of things that people in the Bahamas need.
Right.
Everything from like tennis shoes, clothes, yeah. Because
water.
everything that they had,
Yeah.
wet
it's
or
gone.
gone. Or,
one woman said like how everything I've ever worked for my whole life is gone. And she was being literal.
Homeowners insurance
Yeah,
is
yeah.
very important.
Yeah, I mean,
blood
it's,
insurance
well, that's
definitely there.
It'll be interesting too because this was, I think this year alone, the 9th or 11th natural disaster that will exceed $1 billion in total cost to the
insurance.
insurance companies.
Oh my
and what will the
God.
insurance companies continue to do? Because honestly, like
yeah, pass the cost over to
like in
us
Florida, it
anyway,
was
yeah.
extremely difficult to get homeowners insurance and was very expensive. It's like
Yeah,
cars in
'cause
Michigan.
you know what's gonna happen.
The possibility exists,
Yeah.
whether it's tornadoes and lightning, hail, hurricanes.
So do you guys think that I forgot what hurricane that was, but in Florida, this guy he put like these water tubes were all around his house, and everybody was like, "What are you
Oh, yeah, I
doing?
saw
Why
that.
are you doing
Did
that?"
what?
And his house did not get messed up. He put like these big, huge
I don't know
water
if it was real or
tubes
fake.
around his house. I think it was real, and nothing
Like,
happened
it
to
was
his
like
home.
he almost put like a
It was I don't even know
a
how many.
pool liner around
Yeah,
his entire
around his
yard.
I thought it
home.
was just that his house was elevated slightly.
It was elevated as well, so that definitely
So
helped.
did
but
he build it
also
like this?
built
Yeah,
the
no.
tubes around
He
it.
put it right before the hurricane. And it's
Yeah.
literally like imagine like a pool liner around your entire house,
Okay.
like an above ground pool.
For flooding purposes, right?
Yeah.
So that the water
Doesn't
So-
really like
come in?
come over.
come in.
Yeah.
So he literally.
But what
had
about
like
the rain that's coming down? Where does that water go?
Well, that's not.
Did he have,
Well,
like,
that's not
minimum?
as big
That's
as
not as
like
bad as,
the
like,
rest, the
like,
ocean coming in,
mean,
going
So
over.
he
Yeah.
stopped
True.
that. So it was
True.
like tall. It was like yay
Yeah,
tall.
they were real, and it was filled with water, so it was heavy, so it wasn't gonna move or anything. He put it all around his house, and nothing happened to his home. Do you think that?
I don't know if it
really
was. I
worked?
don't know if it was a real or fake
I think
picture,
that
but I
was
know exactly
real.
what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I saw
they
it.
had like a report on him or something.
Did they?
Yeah, it was like a little.
Because it looked fake. Because it literally all you see is water, and then his house and yard dry.
And then everybody else's house
everything
is
else is
messed up.
wet.
That seems
Like imagine
that
upside
doesn't
down
seem-
pool. Like the
having been
the
through a
pool
couple
is dry,
hurricanes, that
but
doesn't seem
everything.
right.
Yeah,
That doesn't seem. It just doesn't.
it
seem
didn't
right.
seem right to me either. That's why I was.
It
wondering
was-
But
if
his house
real.
was elevated, so maybe that's why too.
It will shout out to all my friends that are down in Florida and family that when this
Yeah.
hurricane was coming, like they did the whole preparation thing. It was,
Right.
shelves were emptied and all that stuff, and then the thing just stopped moving, and then it
Oh,
changed
yeah.
course. So like it was supposed to be Labor Day weekend was going to be Hurricane Dorian taking out Florida, and so all these people stocking up and water and alcohol and food, and then
Medicine.
and then expecting it to come, and like my father's like,
You
yeah.
run out of supplies real quick.
That's what he said. He was like, yeah, we
Yeah.
stocked up mid last week, so over the weekend when we were drinking and eating whether the hurricane was coming or
Or
not.
not,
You got a ration.
yeah.
So-
Do you miss Florida?
No, I miss my family in Florida,
Of
my friends
course,
in
of
Florida.
course.
But no, the heat down there, it was one of the things that
What about the snow up here?
my wife had a good analogy, and she said, and there are really great aspects about both places. I
Sure.
just prefer Michigan over Florida.
Cool.
But it was like she said, when you go in the summertime to take the trash to the curb, by the time you walk out the door, you're already starting to sweat. So by the time you
Right.
get back from taking it to the
You're
curb and get
drained.
inside, you need a shower. She said, up here, I just put on boots and a jacket.
True.
I take it off when I get inside.
That's
And
true.
I thought,
but
That makes
sometimes it's you got to put more than boots in the jacket to go
You gotta
outside
put-
and take the trash out.
if you're just taking the trash out, you're just quick out and back. If you were ice fishing,
I don't know. I would rather.
riding your snowmobile,
You would rather be in Florida?
I really. I think
would.
I would.
yeah.
Just somewhere warmer and.
I recognize I am absolutely 110% not the norm.
Right.
Like
right.
I've never been to Florida in the dead of summer, so I don't know.
The heat.
Like I've never is
It's
the heat
hot.
too. Like if it's hot,
It's hot.
then it's a different story.
And
That
humid.
It might change your
very
mind.
humid. Yeah, you
But I've
have
been
to
to
have
Florida
AC.
like
There are
February.
some
It's not
beautiful-
like Arizona though, but
No,
it's,
but there's some
like
beautiful
this.
times of the year too. I mean,
Yeah.
don't get me
Oh,
wrong.
yeah.
Wintertime, spring, depending on when spring starts.
Real cool.
When if there's a fall.
So I think I could put up with 3 months of really hot, and then compared to here, it's 3 months of really nice and 9 months of
blah.
either mediocre or really bad.
See, I don't think so. I can't imagine. I grew up in Florida.
Right.
I've lived a couple other places in my life too. But the seasons, I just find the seasons to be such a nice thing. Whether that's
Yeah,
spring,
that's
whether
true.
that's fall, whether that's even winter.
You can catch the different seasons in Michigan though. You can.
But you don't catch that. There's no different seasons in Florida. It's
Yeah,
just cooler days.
Yeah. And
It's
then just
it's
hot.
never cold.
What about? Well, it's just seasons. Like leaf change.
Yeah,
That's it.
I know. But it's something about it. The weather changes. You can feel it.
Yeah, you can feel it. Like today is I have on a sweater. Like it's
Well, that's because it's cold as
hoodies.
heck in the
That's 'cause
office.
it's cold.
Yeah, no, too. But it was chilly this morning. It's like
was,
it's
yeah, yeah.
changing. You know.
You can feel it, right? You
Yeah.
can feel it. There's a little bit, just a slight dampness in the air. It's a little bit cooler.
I'd rather be warm.
Head south,
I'm
buddy.
I'm a hot girl too. I love
Like
the heat.
I want to maybe like Nashville or like those kind of that area, like or
Oh,
Atlanta or
okay.
Georgia.
Oh, it's
Like
still
where,
I used to
hot.
live
where
in
it doesn't
Atlanta.
You ask,
Does it
go
really
ask
still
Cooper.
get
It
hot?
still
And
gets
it's
hot.
very hot there. Yeah, I used to live in Atlanta. I started
Yeah.
high school there, and
Is
humid.
Florida hotter or is it this? Are we talking the same?
A little
in the
bit
summer?
hotter, just
It's-
a little bit.
I would say, and
More
I've lived in
humid.
Atlanta too, but I would say that the heat is the same, but the humidity in Florida pushes it over the edge.
Yes,
That's
it
really
is.
where the difference is.
Yeah.
Throughout the Southeast, it's humid. It's not like the Southwest where it's a little drier, but it definitely is once you get down into Florida where there's so much water. Never mind it's surrounded by, but there's a ton of lakes down there too. And it's just, especially if you're not near a coast where you get a little bit of a breeze, whether it's like the Gulf side or whether
Yeah,
that's
you're
the
gonna be
Atlantic
like,
side,
Oh my God.
it's still hot. And even in Nashville, it's the same way. It's
Yeah,
not
see,
quite
I've
as
never
hot
been
as
to any of
Atlanta,
those
but
places in the summertime. So
Oh yeah.
maybe I'm just judging based on the days
when you leave
when I
from
was
here
there.
from the winter and,
And I
go
was like,
there.
oh, this is
yeah.
kind of nice, but I've never been where it's like 100 degrees outside. So maybe
Okay,
I
so
have
let's-
maybe I have a skewed view.
let's
Right.
speak directly to Sarah. Sarah, could you please book a vacation where you and Trevor go to Florida next summer?
Yes.
And honestly, it's still September, so you have about another month if you want
Record
to
it
do
for
it
us.
this year.
Look, record it for us too, so we can see.
Oh no, don't worry. Trevor will take care of that
I'll
thanks to
take, I'll
Snapchat.
take care of that on my Snapchat.
Find
Cool,
Luke. Find out
cool.
where Luke Bryan is performing down there. book a couple tickets, and make sure you send pictures.
Ugh.
But just wrapping back up, and we'll move on from the topic. But the Bermuda thing with Hurricane Dorian, and don't want to. I think we're going to see a lot of damage coming out of the Carolinas, from what I've heard. We have a great partner up there in Discovery Spotlight with the Dugars, Corey and Rebecca, and they were talking about not just losing power but flooding, unprecedented rain, and the what is it? What do they call it? The tidal or the surge?
Surge. Is it storm surge?
Storm surge, yeah.
Storm surge.
And last I saw it was like already at 8 feet. And these are places that are below sea level to begin with, like Florida. And this one hurricane, it's amazing the
when
damage.
When did they expect it to actually make the biggest impact?
I think now and overnight tonight.
Yeah, this weekend. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's supposed to be making close to landfall, right on the
Saturday.
edge of the Carolinas. Yeah, and then it kind of just goes out to sea, and that's that. But if you can, and you have if you have the availability, the means, whatever you want to call it, please to anyone, Red Cross, anyone. I saw a guy, maybe it was real, not real, but had bought like $50,000 in generators to get on a boat to send over to the Bahamas. So anything anybody can do will be unbelievably great appreciated. And if you haven't seen some of the photos, it touches your heart in a devastating kind of way, and there's just not enough ways to help, because what these people are going through is something that
to lose everything, that would be.
What?
I think that would be.
None of us should have to go through.
Real life, yeah.
None of us should have to go through.
And then some
it.
things aren't replaceable, like
like
pictures,
photos.
memories. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
All right, so to maybe a happier topic. Jasmine, you're fairly new as part of 9-9. Trevor, you've been here for 11 years now?
Yeah, about there.
All right,
you're a vet.
One of the things we like to do on 9-9 Nation is kind of towards the end of the podcast is kind of get back to 9-9 a little bit. And one of the things that I've been asked it a couple times, and when I was first asked it threw me off. So maybe it's going to throw you guys off.
Let's see.
It's not meant to be tricky though. But one of the things that I got asked, and I think it was during a job interview, I was interviewing somebody, and they asked me this question, and I had to think about it for a second. But honestly, I've had the same answer since that very first day, and it was probably, 7-8 years ago at this point.
Wow.
And I'm curious what your answer is. I'm curious what you think other people's answers would be too. Okay. Keeping in mind the various, aspects of, we have offices across the country. We have the corporate office here. Mm-hmm. Trevor, you've been to several of them. Yeah, Jasmine, you, for the most part, only here.
Yes.
So I'll ask Jasmine first, and then that way you get a little. No, I'll ask Trevor first.
Yeah, he's the vet.
He's the
Let's see
vet.
what he's gonna say.
So and just honestly, like don't try and
overthink it.
Don't try to answer it thinking it's an answer you want anybody to hear, Jess or anyone else. So just keep that in mind. So if we're sitting in an interview and you're interviewing me, and you say any questions, and I look at you and say, yeah, I have a question. What's your favorite thing about working at 9-9?
The people I work with.
I agree.
And it makes the day, like, you enjoy coming to work.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter what your project is or what you're working on. If you surround yourself with people that you're working with, they can make light of a situation that could go bad, or you're kind of stressed out about something. It's just make it easier. It's easier to come to work. It makes it 10 times easier and more enjoyable to wake up and actually go, and it's work. You do your thing, but then if you're having a little bit of fun on the side, that's hands down probably the best thing about it.
People.
Yep.
All right.
I agree.
You can't cop out that easy.
Well, the environment. Okay, I'll say the environment.
Yeah. It's not just here. It's like even
just
like
the
other
energy.
offices when you talk to everybody. It's just everybody's always
positive,
correct.
upbeat. Just the energy, and then since I'm in the front. Until
we'll call it front of house.
Front of house. So since I'm in the front of house,
for at least another couple of days or day.
I enjoy the talent. Like, I enjoy meeting new people, just hearing what they're into and their excitement, and just the beginning and seeing how it's gonna grow from them. So, yeah, I like it all.
All right, I'll circle back to me, but we're not gonna let him off the hook. So Mark, now for those who don't know, Mark is one of our videographers. He's been with us for only a couple months now. Started as an intern.
4 months.
4 months, right?
Yeah. So
to you, obviously yours is a little bit different. You don't interact with a lot of the talent unless you're kind of shooting testimonial videos or kind of interviewing. You shoot our podcast, several other videos. But what is your favorite thing about being at 9-9?
There's kind of like both of what you guys said. I have to agree as well. The people, the environment, and also like just the general attitude of people here. They're always wanting to help.
Yeah.
And I feel like that plays into what we do. We always want to help people.
Yeah.
So I really like that attitude. And plus, when I do get to work with the talent, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
They're
So-
so excited. So
And-
makes
Oh, yeah.
me excited.
They're
That
also
was-
excited to be in front of the camera. Like I went and filmed the
Yeah.
workshop last weekend, and they love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the first time I had that, I was interviewing somebody, and it's just a normal interview process where you let them ask questions, and usually they ask questions about the position, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe hours or
What are
responsibilities.
you
whatnot.
looking for?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. What are you looking for in the person who's going to fill this? Yeah, that's great. But they asked me like, "What's your favorite part about working at 9-9?" And I was like, I was like, "Oh,
That was
like,
a
oh,
good question.
I was like that. It was a good question.
Yeah.
And I'm not copying out either. But I did say the people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes a difference.
It makes a huge difference when you can walk into work and not be like, oh, I got to see this person for 8 hours, and on top have to do your job. It makes it easier. It makes it easier when it's like, oh,
Yeah, it's
even if my day's going bad at home, you can come here and
that is so
you forget
true.
About
Yeah,
you kind of forget about the
I don't
home
mind
life.
being at work.
Not just home, just
Yeah,
in
just in
general,
general,
just life in general. You
yeah.
come in here and you talk to people and it's.
But that was it. To me, and family values, when we did our core values,
Yeah.
family values is
Yes.
listed as the first one for a
Which-
reason. I mean, not just because we're a family-owned company,
Yep.
but it really was. It was like, it's the people, and it's the attitude that you get from having that, and it's who you get to work with, but who you get to work for,
Exactly.
and just the overall, aspect of the people at 9-9, and it really does make a significant difference. And I think what and I'm really excited that you two said that, because I mean the fact that we all three, actually all four,
Yeah,
Mark
feel the same
included,
way. I think everybody feels
Yeah.
that like
Yeah.
that though. Yeah.
But you create that environment to where now when somebody walks in as a talent or interested in being a
spreads.
talent,
It spreads. It's
Yeah,
like,
it does.
It's like people say, like when somebody starts laughing, kind of it spreads, right?
Yeah.
Like the happiness spreads. So I think
Contagious.
that's what I was
Positivity.
looking for.
I was
Right.
talking to an office director, maybe in Chicago, maybe named Raymond, the other day.
I love Raymond.
I love Raymond. And we were talking about it, and that's one of the things that kind of he said just as we were going through, and we were talking about various aspects of his team and the office and
Yeah.
just processes and things like that.
Yeah.
And he mentioned, he said, just like, I just enjoy meeting with these talent, walking in and learning about them and finding out what they want and what they need and how we
Yeah.
can help them. And then he's like, then it gets to interact with the team and actually work to make that happen. Like
Yeah.
that really is like a cool part. Now,
Yeah.
if we walked out of here, on the other side of this wall, there's a group of individuals working. On the other side of that wall, there's more individuals and more walls and more
Shout out
individuals.
to everybody.
Yeah. Shout out to everyone.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody.
Luna. Just kidding.
So, I mean, do you think that's a pervasive thought? Like if we walked out there and asked everybody,
Yeah.
would they say the people, or what else do you think that they might, obviously talent, it's both
would
sides.
definitely
It's who they
say
work with and who
talent,
they
and
work
then-
for.
There you go. You said it. That was the best way to put it.
Like people, and I think
Free snacks don't.
out of anybody,
That makes a
Shook
big
loves,
difference
like,
too.
Yeah.
Tyler
like,
loves
when
the
I was gonna
snacks.
say snacks,
she gets,
too.
When she gets
Snacks.
casting for somebody, like she generally gets excited. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can see it
she's-
when she
she's
books
very
like
You get the
serious about
clapping
that.
and all that.
Yeah, like
I can't
yesterday.
bang the table. Well, we
What did she
could.
book yesterday? Some kind of I forgot what it was, but she was like all excited. I'm like, why are you jumping around? And then she explained it to me. I was like, and she gets like genuinely excited when
Yeah.
she finds like
Yeah.
a big client, and then the client chooses one of our talents. She generally gets excited. So
That's how
her,
Luna
I think
does.
she's more. She wouldn't say people. She would say more of what she gets to do. I guess.
Yeah.
To help talent.
To actually have like the end result.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
She, like I said, and when she called it the talent, they were all excited, and she was all excited. So it kind of spreads again.
Yeah,
It's
it
contagious.
does, it does.
So her, if you would ask me, it's what she does. I think.
But
is
it's good that
the
the
best
front
thing.
of the home or
Front of
Front of the house.
I actually never worked in a restaurant, but I believe that's what it's called, right? Front of
Front
house.
I've never worked for a
hosting,
restaurant
where
either.
the hostess is.
Right, where the
so
hostess is.
Yeah.
It's good that the front of
The
the,
waiting
house
area.
and the back of the house, which is like the corporate, they both feel the same way. They get excited for the talent,
Yeah.
and it makes a difference.
I agree.
It does, and it makes the talent more excited and ready to take on their journey.
Well, thanks for the honest answer.
Yeah.
Again, 9-9 Nation, we talked on a couple of things today, but really the one, if we'll have some links below the video. Please, if you can in any way help the disaster relief for Hurricane Dorian,
Donate.
please do. We'll put the Red Cross link below, but there obviously are a number of great other charities out there doing all kinds of things to help people who are experiencing what can honestly be
That's
described as
loss.
total devastation.
Yes, very true.
Thank you to both Jasmine,
Thank
first
you
timer.
for having me. Yeah, this is really cool.
Not so bad, right? Just
I
talking,
know, it's really
talking,
cool
laughing,
though.
finding
Yeah.
out a little bit about each other.
It is. I like
Thanks
it.
to the button for the second time on
I'm
here.
back.
The button.
Maybe I'll be back again. We'll
that's
see.
cool.
Maybe we'll let him back on for a third time. We'll see. Again, my name's Evan. Everybody, thank you for joining us this week. Look forward to the next 9-9 Nation coming up in just about 7 days.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Take it easy.